Hey, what's up guys? It's Josh here at Porter Valley Ranch, and happy Friday. Happy Black Friday. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, so I hope you guys all got to spend time with family and friends, have some food and relax and enjoy Thanksgiving, which is a holiday to remember the coming together of the Pilgrims and the Indians at the first Thanksgiving. If you go back and kind of look at the history of Thanksgiving, it's actually kind of controversial. I've been watching a show called Jamestown on TV, and it goes through some of the relationships between the Native Americans and the settlers. And it's pretty interesting just to go back and kind of look and see at the relationship. Over the years, we kind of formulated that relationship into something that it probably really was not. And growing up as a kid, it was really innocent. There wasn't anything wrong with having a Thanksgiving dinner at school or at church where half the kids dressed up as pilgrims and half the kids dressed up as Indians. Now everybody kind of gets all bent out of shape. Everyone's a little bit too sensitive, and we also now know that some of those things were probably not historically accurate. But nevertheless, it's about two groups of people coming together and working together so that they both could survive and they both could thrive. So pretty different take for me this year. Rachel and I just got back from Africa. I'm gonna try not to talk a lot about that trip today because we have a lot of things to show you and a lot of things to say. But I'll just say that when you go to a different country and you are in the extreme minority, there were no other Caucasian people that we saw almost the entire time that we were there, certainly not in the villages that we were helping out. But when people from different, ethnicities and different nationalities, different walks of life can come together for the common good, which ours was to provide, food and shelter and water and healthcare to the people, and entertainment and fun to the kids. When those groups of people come together for a common interest, they can do great things. They can do good things, and everyone can see eye to eye. Everyone can shake hands, hug each other, and know that we're all working towards the same goal. So my prayer for America this year is that we learn from what's happened over the last year and a half. COVID separated us. COVID also brought us together. We had a common enemy. The common enemy was COVID-19. I think we forgot a lot about that. There's been a lot of racism in the news. There's been a lot of political smearing and things going on. But on this Thanksgiving weekend, I hope that we can come back together. Because much like in the early days of the country, this country's broken. People are struggling. It's very divided, and we need to find a way to come together and work together so that everyone can truly prosper. Okay, that's enough of that political talk. So, something happened today. This time last week, I was in Africa, and it was super hot, like crazy hot. Like you walk out the front door and you're sweating hot. And then this morning I came out to change the water, and not only was there ice on top of the water troughs, but also I couldn't get water to come out of our garden hose because there was ice in the garden hose. So another one of those funny things that 1 week can make like a 80-degree swing. Not 80, like 70-degree swing for us. So gonna get all of these animals fed and watered today, and just check on everybody. We've been gone for about 2 weeks, so we just need to kind of check their health. So I will try to catch some of them as I feed them, check their eyelids, do all the things to make sure that they are healthy. And then also we are going to my parents for a couple days, so we're gonna get them enough food and water to last them through the weekend. Oh, there it goes. Little ice. Little ice chunks coming out of the hose. Yeah, it's going crazy.
have seen. The way I was before just wasn't working anymore. If I could find the time to stop and press rewind, then maybe I could see just what you want from me. You're calling out to me.
All right, we're starting out feeding the goats today. The goats are doing well. They're all gaining weight. We've been feeding them some of the new grain that we got, the wholesale grain. It was from a plant that makes seed, and so they use cleanings or screenings. We got huge bags of it, put it into barrels, and I'm actually ordering some supplement from Lanessa Farms. I'll show you guys when that comes in, how we mix it and everything. But I'm gonna feed this through the winter along with a lot of hay. Most of our sheep and goats eat massive amounts of hay and a little bit of grain. We feed them grain every other day. I know some people say to feed every day, but to be honest, it just doesn't really work with our schedule. Every other day seems to work. Most of our animals are really healthy and they do well, so it's a pattern that works for us in our property. We also have a lot of browse. We have a lot of like acorns, and obviously when the leaves fall, there's a lot of honeysuckle and blackberry type things down in the woods. So even whenever we're not feeding them grain, they're still getting extra things other than just hay. If you feed just hay, you're probably not gonna get all of the nutrition that you need. So you need to do something else. Some people do like the lick tubs, the lick blocks, things like that. But for us, we've just kind of fallen into a pattern of, you know, feeding grain like every other day, a couple times a week. And then we're excited about adding this new supplement into our feed. So we're basically creating like our own feed out of the supplement and the wholesale grain is what I call it. So excited about that. But you'll notice some of these Ibex are starting to put on like a winter coat. They turn very fuzzy. It's just you know, a natural thing, kind of like a dog. You know, if you raise livestock guardian dogs, a lot of the Pyrenees and things like that will put on a winter coat so that they're warm in the winter. And these Ibex do the same thing. So during the rutting season, the bucks will get darker, so they'll get like a little black, like a ring around their chest and neck, and then almost all of them in the winter will put on extra fur, so they kind of puff up a little bit just to keep them warm. So I'm gonna show you these little guys and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. See, like around his chest and neck, they get that dark ring, and then also you can just kind of see how they just look kind of puffy. They get a lot of hair, a lot of wool. So these two are both little bucks. Their horns are getting nice and growing. You can start to see the little ridges, which are the hallmark of the Nubian Ibex. So we want that to keep happening. This is Daisy. Daisy's a mess. Daisy has some like Angora or something in her pedigree, because you'll watch her over the next couple weeks, like her hair will just go, it'll grow out. It gets pretty long. But the good news about her, even though she isn't ideal looking when it comes to a hybrid Ibex, she actually throws really good babies. So sometimes there's like the whole dominant and recessive genetic traits. Sometimes whenever you're raising exotics, you have to not just see what they are, but also what they produce. So she's one that she consistently produces good quality offspring. Moses was hers, and he looked really good. And then her baby this year, we actually sold, but he was a really good looking little buck too. So pretty good. We're gonna keep her around for a couple more years. She's getting pretty old. We'll have to keep an eye on her teeth, because as they get older, when their teeth start falling out, they can't eat, you know, browse and things properly. So we'll have to get her some extra nutrition, but for now she's doing well. So one thing that happened while we were gone is the Silkies started laying eggs again. There's not any in here yet, but you can see the feathers in the nesting boxes. It's a good sign, because that means they're hanging out in there. Our Silkies hadn't laid in probably, well over a month. We went to the chicken show, we came back, and the weather got kind of crazy. Some things started changing, and they just stopped laying. So the problem with that is that's how Zeke makes some money. So if they're not laying eggs, he's not raising chicks and he's not making any money. So thankfully, some of them have started laying again. Probably need to boost their nutrition up a little bit, but they are starting to lay. They're getting in pattern. Silkies are not like 365 day a year laying hens. Some chickens are more naturally predisposed to lay more. So that's like layers, like your Easter eggers and, you know, just different kinds of chickens that lay a lot of eggs. From what we've seen, Silkies are about a little less than half the time. They kind of go through these different seasons where they lay, then they don't. I don't know the exact number. Some of your really exotic chicken breeds, like your Iamsamanis, they'll lay less than 100, you know, eggs a year. And so that's usually why they're more rare, why they're more valuable, because they just don't lay as many eggs, they don't reproduce as many, so they're harder to find. So same thing with Silkies, not quite as much, but they do not lay, you know, year round. They go through seasons. So all right, so this little dog kennel here has all of our like our grow out chickens. We've got a couple Silkies, we've got some Delawares, we've got some that I don't know what they are because Zeke bought them at the chicken auction. But they are getting to the age they're about ready to start laying. So we will move them out of this pen when that day comes. Ouch, just bit me. If you need any chickens, Kai was gonna sell some of these Delawares. He won first place a couple months ago, if you watched our video, at the Creek County Fair, and he sold one of his chickens for, I think it was $160 at the auction. So we're not gonna sell them for $160, but if you would like to have a sister to the Creek County Fair champion Delaware chicken, then let us know. We're in Oklahoma, so you probably need to live pretty close, but he would sell a couple of these chickens because we don't need all of them. And so if you're interested, let us know. I'm gonna say they're probably like 40 bucks a piece. So if you want some really good champion pedigree Delaware chickens for $40 that are about to start laying any day now, then let us know and we will hook you up. All right, so while I'm waiting on the chicken water to fill up, I was gonna show you this this deer hide here. See, it's got the salt on it. Rachel and I got home Sunday night, about 2 o'clock in the morning, after 36 hours of travel back from West Africa. It was a brutal trip back. We got home 2 o'clock in the morning, woke up at, I don't know, 7 or 8 a.m. and Rachel says, hey, Zeke shot a deer. Well, my dad had been taking him hunting for the last couple of days. We hunt just right behind our house off the cliff. So I was like, oh, cool. And then I thought, oh man, I hadn't shot a deer in a few years. And we always process them ourselves. So my first waking hours back in the United States was spent skinning and processing a white-tailed deer. But it was cool. The kids got involved. Not Jet. Jet was not involved. Zeke and Kai got involved. My dad was still here to help. So we skinned the deer and processed it. But one of my big things with Zeke, probably shining straight in the sun. One of my big things with Zeke was that we don't waste anything. We're gonna use all the meat we can. We're gonna tan the hide, you know, he can do something with it. So I got him out here scraping and tanning, going back to our Native American roots. So anyway, so he's still working on it. It's a pretty long process, but I am I'm always quick to jump in and help, and I'm trying not to do that as much because I realize that that's not helping others. It's just making things get done. So I need to help others by not helping. So I have told him what to do. He's done most of it properly, but I've been pretty adamant that he needs to get this stuff done. He's been making beef jerky or deer jerky out of the deer. We ground a lot of it, and now he's gonna tan this hide so that it doesn't go to waste, because hunting is not just a sport, it has a purpose. So if you hunt, make sure you you use the things you hunt for, not just take things out of nature. But they're there for our enjoyment. I truly believe that, but I also believe that they're there for our benefit, and the benefit is not hanging a head on the wall. The benefit is, you know, eating and using the things that they have to offer. So that's my other, I'm kind of preaching a lot today. Sorry about that, but that's who I am. Okay, so you know a few weeks ago, a raccoon got into our barn and destroyed some of our chickens. And then about a week later, we had another massacre on our hands. So good news is, while we were gone, no raccoons got into the barn. We still have these two guys together because our Millie rooster got eaten, for lack of better terms. So we put him with, or we put the Millie hen with a partridge Silkie rooster. So we're trying to make some Silkie flewers or something. I don't know what they're called. Millie Silkie, I don't know. Anyway, Rachel and Zeke have a plan to make some crazy new chickens. But also, while we were gone, we had traps set out, and my dad and the boys were able to trap the raccoon that we suspect was the intruder and the murderer of our chickens. So we safely relocated the raccoon to a higher place. And so he's gone. We're not gonna let our guard down because obviously we live on a lot of land and there's a lot of predators out. But it's kind of nice to know that we at least got one of them out of the way because our chickens are worth a lot of money. And whenever they eat our chickens, it makes us very angry. So we got him out of the way, and we'll probably just set another trap out just in case he has a friend. But for now, that was a victory for us. Here's our grain barrels. You see that one's kind of depleted, but basically got all of these filled with grain. So we're gonna take that, put it in like a cement mixer with some additive that we just ordered, and it'll make like a new kind of feed that will have the supplements, the vitamins and nutrition that we need for our sheep and goats. So we're ordering a couple different kinds of supplements. We'll show you those whenever they come in. We'll show you how we mix them and what we can do with that, because I'm really excited about it. You guys ready to eat? Want some food? Huh? Get out of there. All right, so if you remember a couple weeks ago, we took our baby dolls, little George and our baby doll Duchess, and I don't remember the other one's name because we were down to 2 purebred baby dolls. Since one of our other one passed away unexpectedly. Looking back, I'm pretty sure that Doodle, the one that died, was either poisoned or had a snake bite or something, because she was like perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden the next day, like, she just wasn't herself, and it kind of seemed like she was disoriented. So I think she was poisoned. It could have been something she ate, you know, like if they get into the wrong kind of plant, eat too much of the wrong kind of plant, something like that. Anyway, so baby dolls, we took them to my dad's house because he bought quite a few baby dolls from one of our friends down in Texas. So he has all of our baby dolls at his house. So these are all Harlequins that we have left here. All our baby dolls are in Oklahoma City. So we'll get some video of those when we go to show you guys those, and also to show you the difference. We've got a couple videos coming out about the difference in different types of miniature sheep, because a lot of people are showing interest in miniature sheep. I think they're a really good investment. They're a really good choice for livestock. If you have a small property, you can get high return on your investment. They're also easy to take care of. They're easy to keep. Fences don't have to be, you know, goat proof. So I think they're a good thing, and we will show you guys some of those and keep giving you some of our tips and tricks on how to purchase, how to raise, and also how to sell these things, because we'll be selling a lot come springtime. So look forward to that. That's all I got for you guys today. Short video, but we're happy to be back, and Rachel and I had an amazing time in Africa. Thank you to those of you who reached out to us and just told us that, you know, you were thinking and praying for us while we were gone and for our kids. We had a lot of great people that pitched in while we were gone at our business and at our home and our farm here. We've got a lot of stuff coming up about it. We actually took Gardening with Leon. You guys know him. We took some of his methods and talked to him while we were over there to try to help increase the production from the garden that's on our property over there. We did some stuff with people in the villages. We got to do some construction projects. We got to work on the infrastructure for the orphanage that we help run over there. And honestly, we just got to love people. We got to see God's creation. We got to be in a place that is, for the most part, void of clutter like we have in America. There wasn't all of the noise in the social media and just the negativity, the politics. We were just able to be there, you know, with each other. It was the first time we've been able to go to Africa together. With our, you know, our friends. Rachel's twin sister Rebecca got to go, so we got to just be there with our friends and family in a place that God has put on our heart to help. And we got to help those people. We got to love the kids that were there, not just the kids, the 24 kids in our orphanage, but also the kids at the school next door and the kids in the villages. So it was just good for our soul. It was good to come home and have the week off because of Thanksgiving. And we've got a couple more days, and then it's back to the crazy grind for us. We're getting into competition and performance season. But we've got a lot of stuff coming up about that, and I hope you guys will join us on that journey. Some of it has to do with, you know, homesteading, and some of it doesn't. But we just hope that you'll come along with us for that ride, because it is something that God has put on our heart. And we know that God has called us to share our story on YouTube, and so we have to share our whole story. We can't just pick the pieces that we want to share, or even just the pieces that we think will do well, you know, on YouTube or on Facebook. Like, we have to share who we are and what God is calling us to do. And right now, for our life, for our family, Africa is a huge part of what we're being called to do. So look forward to those videos coming out soon. We've got a lot of footage to sort through, hours and hours of footage to sort through, and still trying to collect our thoughts on how to share those things, because there's a lot. You know, there's a lot that we're passionate about, and there's a lot that we've seen and that we think we can share. And so we're going to continue to sort through the footage and sort through our thoughts and share that with you guys here coming out really soon. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us at Porter Valley Ranch. We love what we do. We love that you guys are able to come along the journey with us, and we will see you on the next video. What are you doing? Huh?